About birth certificates and death certificates from New York City. If a person requires official proof of someone's birth or death in New York City with apostille or authentication, in that case, the applicant must first order a long-form copy of the birth certificate or death certificate, with a letter of exemplification from the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. This can be done in person, appointment needed during COVID-19, online, or by mail. A long form of birth or death certificate, also called a vault copy, and a letter of exemplification are both needed for certain overseas transactions like below. What is a letter of exemplification? A letter of exemplification is a separate page, white in color, that the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene attaches to New York City birth or death certificates. Exemplification means an attested copy of a document under official seal, and the exemplification letter does exactly that, attests that the attached birth or death certificate is a true certified copy. Please note, without the letter of exemplification, New York City birth certificates and death certificates cannot be apostilled or authenticated. So, your original documents should contain one page of a copy of the birth or death certificate and another page of a letter of exemplification. How to get a copy of the certificate and a letter of exemplification simultaneously. If you need a letter of exemplification, you should order a long form or vault copy of birth or death certificate. When you place your order for the birth or death certificate, make sure you clearly explain the reason for your request, and the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene will determine if a letter of exemplification is also needed. If you order your certificate online or by phone and you require an apostille, you should request a long form, also known as a full copy or vault copy. To order a long form through vitalcheck.com, select Long Form from the What will you be using the certificate for? Reason drop-down box. When ordering, you must specify that the purpose of your request is apostille or authentication. Then, most likely, you will get your birth or death certificate with a letter of exemplification. If you order by mail the application form, be sure to check the yes of the question, "Do you need a letter of exemplification?" and fill out apostille or authentication in the field of "Why do you need this certificate?" Order the apostille or authentication service. Don't forget to mail it to our office for apostille and authentication after getting the certified copy of the New York City birth or death certificate with a letter of exemplification. Documents from New York City require additional steps before obtaining an apostille or authentication. If the document is going to be used in countries included in the Hague Apostille country list, the service you'll need is the Secretary of State apostille in your state. If it will be used in countries not included in the Hague Apostille country list, the services you'll need are the Secretary of State authentication in your state, the U.S. Department of State authentication, required in most cases, and the legalization by the destination country's embassy or consulate in the U.S. Our apostille services can free you from the complicated, time-consuming, and distracting application process that requires expertise. Once the order and documents are received, they'll be processed as quickly as possible.